So today we are going to see the radio transmission. It is using Arduino Uno and 2nRF24L01 transceiver. So let's see what are the ingredients for this recipe. First we need two Arduino Unos, then we need two nRF24L01 receivers and transmitter, that is transceiver, one LED, then one 220 ohm resistor, couple of jumper wires, 233 microfarad capacitors. This is optional. So let's see more about the nRF24L01 transceiver details. So this model looks like this. It has operating frequency of 2.5 GHz. It can vary from 2.4 to 2.5. So basically it is an industrial application based operating frequency. So it's normally you can use it for trial purposes, or other frequencies might interfere with if the band gets changed. So it requires input voltage from 1.9 to 3.6 volts. So Arduino basically has 3.3 volt supply inbuilt, so we can use that for low power transmission. Then its SPI pin can tolerate up to 5 volts. It can cover up to 800 meters for transmission. At a time it can connect up to 6 other transceivers. It has total number of channels 125. It can transfer the data with 250 kbps, 1 Mbps, 2 megabytes per second. So this is the circuitry. As you see, this is the transceiver. You can see the pins as it is here: VCC, ground, CSN, CE, MOSI, master out, slave in, clock, and then one trigger. There is master in, slave out. So you can connect this wiring as shown in this figure for both transmitter as well as receiver. Never connect this 3.3 volt to the 5 volt supply, it will burn this module. I have also listed down the connection here. So connect this. After the connection for transmitter and receiver. For receiver, basically we are connecting one LED which is between the ground, then it has the 220 ohm resistor, and it is connected to 6 number digital pin. And for transmitter we are keeping one open wire at pin number 5 of digital pin. So this is our major circuit diagrams. Let's move to the program. So I have created a very simple program because initially I observed there was quite dearth of the programs which are explained very well. So I myself gone through all lines and I am trying to explain now each line. So here is the transmitter, another is the receiver. So it is SPI communication based, so we are including the SPI library. Then we need RF24 library. You can get it from online. Arduino has a library inbuilt. You can take it from the online Arduino library. After that we are defining one object of RF24, TOM 7, 8. These are the pins connected to CE and CS. The other pins from the module are directly connected to Arduino's by default pins as discussed in last slide. So in receiver side we are giving similar object whose name is Jerry. So Tom and Jerry. 7, 8 similar CE and CS pins. Then we are defining an address. We are defining by byte function. The byte will convert this 10 into a series of 8 bits. So 8 bits might be converted to back from digital to binary to decimal 10. I have just connected this, but you can try other things, like you can put character here and define the address here. Basically we need 5 different bits, so you can give the address here. I am defining the byte and data structure here, data type. So I am defining one constant integer. Then in void setup, first we are giving serial begin. We are increasing the baud rate because we need a fast data visibility. So after that we are initializing the tom dot begin. Up to this is the same here, jerry dot begin. In the tom we are putting the PA level, it is power amplifier level in the module as a minimum. When transmitting the high data, you can convert it into max. There are several levels for power amplifier. In receiver as well as we are putting this as a low. Then we are stating that tom dot open writing pipe. As this is the transmitter, we are giving an open writing pipe function and the address of this node. So basically if we see the same line at the receiver, we are stating that jerry dot open reading pipe 0 and node. It is nothing but we are stating we are going to read through this pipe at this address and through this channel. The channel can be changed from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 125 channel as discussed. Then we are giving one pin mode. It is an input pin which senses the wire which we have explained earlier, extra wire. So as soon as we change the input, we should get reflection over the LED. So the LED is connected to 6th pin of digital. So we are giving it as an output. This is the 5th pin of digital, it is the input. Now in the void loop, we are first setting tom to stop listening because we are going to write. However, in the void loop of the receiver, we are stating that start listening. So it will start reading instead of stop listening. If we check the condition, if digital read 5 is equal to high, then I am stating that k is high, k is 1. We are going to write. This is the write object, and this is the typical thing we have to write in this statement, like this only. So ampersand k and size of this k. So this will write this data over this address. Whenever the digital read 5 is low, we are stating k is 0, it will state as a 0. Okay. In the other hand, in the receiver side, we are stating that k is equal to 0. Jerry dot read, it is reading the address, it is reading the address here and storing in the k. So we check if the k is high, we write it at the 6th pin high, so that LED will turn on. If the state is low, then LED will turn off. We are giving serial print in for checking what is the output. So one thing I observed during the program is that I am giving input from my wire, which is extra wire, connecting to the 5 volt or ground. If I connect it to the 5 volt, or if I don't connect at all to the any line, this 5th digital pin has a fluctuating, or any digital plane has inbuilt fluctuation on the power. So unless and until I connect it to the ground, the LED won't go off. So basically the fluctuation is so highly frequent that I see the LED blinking without connecting the wire either to 5 volt or ground. So I may explain forward what is the problem. So in this project we will see the LED turning off instead of the turning on because of the fluctuation at the input. So let's see the output of our program. First we'll see the connections as I have explained earlier. According to that I have made a connection. This is my transmitter, and I have also added a capacitor here between the ground and 3.3 volt. So basically this is a transmitter connecting to my Arduino, and it has one extra wire as I explained earlier. It is to give the signal to the other Arduino. Let's see the other Arduino. So it has a receiver, a radio receiver here. So this is independently working on my power adapter. So there is no physical connection between my PC and this Arduino. So it has one LED. You currently see it's blinking. It's blinking very fast. So it has a register connected. Now basically what we are doing, we are giving an input from here, from transmitter to the receiver. So currently it's showing the LED blinking. As explained earlier, we have given if else loop. So when I give certain input here, it should be reflected on LED. So currently the LED is blinking. This is because my current output from my this wire is not connected to ground as well as 5 volt, but it is the Arduino's line which is giving the fluctuating voltage. That's why this LED is blinking. So what I will do, I will connect this line to the ground. So as soon as I connect this to the ground, the LED should get off. Can you see it? So as soon as I put on a ground which is near to 13 pin number, the LED will get off. So basically we are not switching on the LED, but we are switching off because we have given the if else loop. So it's amazing thing. It's my first video for non physical contact transmission like wireless transmission. So you may connect or may not connect this capacitor. You can ignore it if you think that the power surge is very high during transmission. You can connect it, and I also connected one capacitor here which may not be required. So have fun. Thank you.